Hey everyone, welcome to another live review of another challenge season, All Stars 5 Rivals. Yes, is back. It's your girl Keeks.
And I'm Brandon.
And again, thank you for joining us. It's Reality Unloaded Podcast, your faves. Make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. We are now going to be covering All Stars 5 and the Traders on Monday. So be on the lookout for it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality Unloaded Podcast and TikTok, Reality Unloaded Pod, or vice versa. May have gotten it confused a little bit. But hey, everyone. What's going on? I see some people in the chat already. Hey, Sophie Dofi. Hey, the Boo. Thank you for joining us. I was excited for this episode, and it just like the excitement just
It's like a roller coaster. It went up
yeah.
and then it went down.
Yeah. It was okay. I feel like this is gonna be a short little review because we didn't get an elimination either. So, or any voting thing. It did feel like Brandon and I, we were talking about it. This entire episode felt like it was cut off short due to the change of them showing it premiering on MTV versus Paramount Plus. It felt like we were supposed to get like 2 episodes and we didn't. So I don't know if any of y'all felt like that are watching, but let us know how you felt about the episode in the chat or in the comments. Cause again, it was a little weird. So let's get into it. So we see this like montage of these infamous beefs, and some of the moments include Bananas and Sarah taking the money, and obviously Ashley Millionaire Mitchell taking the money from Hunter. So off rip, we're like, okay, I feel like obviously at the end of the season, they're gonna make whoever wins from the rival pair choose if they want to split the money or not. Is that what you're getting? Because they keep bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, we see it at the end of the episode where everyone's like talking amongst themselves and like in little groups and trying to figure out who's gonna take the money, who's gonna share it. And I'm like watching it and I'm like, you guys are getting way ahead of yourselves. Like, hear out the game first. But as they should, because in past rival seasons, like you said, we've seen that. So it'll be interesting what the actual twist is because we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't, but I just feel like it's coming. They're gonna have to split, either choose to split or keep it. Okay. So we get some introductions. Frank obviously talks about being a married man, being a changed man, and a whole doctor, getting his doctorate. And then, obviously they talk about Nani coming back to the challenge, etc. She's talking about her relationship with Casey,
not
which is
Nani,
interesting.
the Nani.
The Nani.
They were amping her up.
I said,
I was like, okay.
Y'all might be setting sis up for failure with her track record, but and sorry, no shade, Nani. Like, love to you, but especially during this time. Because again, it was also interesting that they're highlighting her relationship with Casey and they just broke up this week. Okay, perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
So we see TJ come in, and obviously they got this cool ass intro for TJ. And TJ pretty much hypes it up, leads it, pretty much tells them it's a rival season. Like, let's pair y'all off right now. Were there any people that you were surprised to see from this cast? I know we talked about it briefly, but like,
not really. I feel like a lot of the people that we saw were in past All-Star seasons. I was surprised to see Devon because I know she's been booked and busy. So for her to be like, okay, I'll take some time for the challenge was interesting. But I was also excited because I love Devon.
same.
And then I guess I was a little surprised to see Big T and Corey there just because I know they're a little newer and Melissa, I guess. They're a little newer, so to be considered as all stars is a little bit of a stretch, but
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Katie going through her possible rivals were actually funny. Nani and Leroy here ready to flop another season. Yes, and Adam still wants his apology from Steve that happened on All Stars 4. Yes, and speaking of All Stars, it's funny because they were the first pair to get called down. But I want to talk about this because didn't Adam betray Steve first?
Yup.
By literally like
he did that
elimination?
exactly. He did something. I can't remember exactly what he did, but he did something where on the podcast we were like, that's shady, whatever. And then he took his star back, and then he was acting like, oh, what was me? Like, how could you do this? And I was like, sir, you literally just did this to your man in a few episodes before. So why are you surprised?
No, Adam literally threw Steve in, and then Steve won the elimination and said, I'm taking it back. So that's why I found it funny that like Adam is like, or they're framing it as if Steve had no right to do that to Adam.
Yeah, that's what I was getting the whole entire time. And I was like, sir,
Right. I'm side-eyeing
that's all I got.
So then we get Frank and Sam because they bicker like siblings and have a long history from their real world season. And of course, they won Battle of the Seasons together, and Frank was pushing Sam like hell. But they made it through.
Talking crazy to her. But
talking crazy. Crazy.
I'm excited to see them though, because I feel like, you know, they can put aside their differences because they have a long history.
And we haven't seen them in a while, and that's always very refreshing, even though it would be nice, you know, hopefully, you know, challenge people. If y'all happen to come across this, please like do a fresh me season. We need new people, like new people, no reality TV.
No reality.
No reality background. We need fresh people. Okay. So then we get to Ashley K and Dario, and simply they're rivals and paired up because they're exes. And I love the fact that Dario, before, he was over here like, dang, like you got these old ass people doing the All Stars challenge.
He was like, they got gray hair and everything. Is it the 40s or something?
But Ashley K and Dario, they pretty much let us know that they have not spoken to each other in like 6-7 years. There's clearly still some sexual tension between them, sexual attraction between them, it seems. Dario obviously,
I mean, they both, to be fair, look the same. Like,
yeah, they do.
The same.
Yeah, they look pretty much the same. Ashley says that she's a mom now. Dario says that she still looks hot. So she still look fine as hell. Moving on to the next Ashley, Miss Millionaire Mitchell and Anissa. And what is the reason? Please, somebody explain to me. Because, okay,
I don't think anyone knows.
They clearly don't like each other. They're not going to get along. Like, you could tell that they clearly don't like each other. However, what caused this pairing? Who dropped out? That should have been Ashley M's pair and should have been Anissa's pair. Because this don't make sense. Anissa could have freaking went with Fency.
Or Anissa she just could have taken a season off, maybe.
Yes, like... that too. I think they're trying to see if Anissa and Nani will even win for All Stars, and it's looking like a no, especially for Anissa at this point, because this is her third All Stars and she still ain't win.
But it was funny because they look confused themselves. They were like, oh.
They're over here rolling their eyes and everything like that. TJ don't even know what to really say. Like, he's like bullshitting himself. You know, when you gotta
they're not fond of each other. Yeah, like
You know when you have to like bullshit the last few sentences on a term paper?
Mm-hmm.
That's
That
what
was
it felt
very
like.
much that.
Very much that. So then we get to Sylvia and Kellyanne, and clearly they can't stand each other. Another pair, I'm just like, okay, cool.
But that pair at least
I
makes
understand.
sense.
Yes,
You
it
know?
does. It does. Okay, and then let's see who's the next pairing. Oh, then
Then
it's
we get
Nicole and
to
Melissa.
Nicole and Melissa. Mm-hmm. And because
Nicole and
they had a
Melissa.
fling, obviously. But for that reason, I don't think they necessarily could be looked at as rivals. I think they have an upper hand compared to a lot of these people because they seem to like get along. It's not like they don't like each other.
Well, apparently they're like best of friends because when Melissa's mother passed away, like there were some instances where her and Nicole were hanging out or like they posted each other. Like they do still have a very close relationship. So I'm assuming that this was filmed either right before or right after. I'm not entirely sure. I think right after. Or I mean right before her mom's passing, and then like yeah. So then from Nicole and Melissa, we get Nani and Turbo. And obviously they're rivals because Nani backstabbed Turbo and sent him into elimination the last season they were on, and he ultimately left. And he felt backstabbed since then. Valid. Clearly they have a very like tumultuous relationship, friendship. She says even that after she got home from that season, she literally blocked him off everything. Not surprised.
What the kids
Turbo
do these days.
Right. I wasn't surprised that he did that. That she did that. Then we see Beth and Janae. And immediately after seeing Beth and Janae, especially Beth, I was like, why are you here?
Because they're trying to set Janae up, basically.
Yo, can we talk about it? The challenge hates Janae, y'all.
I don't know why.
Yo, they do not, Janae, they don't fuck with you. Take a break, bro, because every season you are in some bullshit. Every season since your last win, you are down bad. Beth, the person that literally almost ruined your marriage, airing you out like that. Whether or not you were doing whatever you were doing. But I said, yo, they don't like Janae. Like they could have paired Janae with Kellyanne. I'm not understanding.
Kellyanne and Janae would have made much more sense to me in my eyes because they, I feel like, would have had a better chance than her and Beth. But again, like when I saw the cast from the very beginning, I immediately thought that Janae was going to be with Kellyanne. And then I saw, oh, she's with Beth. They really, really don't like this girl.
They don't fuck with her. Just to bring this back, I thought Zach was worse to Sam than Frank was, but ain't watched that season in a while. They were both horrible, but I also think it's crazy that Zach is the main one that's not on this season. He's
honestly,
the main one from that group.
That would have been interesting. Yeah.
It would have been interesting.
They could have. It since we're doing X's now, right? They could have paired him with Ashley, and then it could have been the four of them there again.
And Dario with Nani, if Turbo didn't,
and Dario with Nani, yo,
because they had their little spat. Sophie Dophie, thank you for pointing that out. Davon thought Ashley was gonna be her rival, and that would have been a good pairing too. But I could see
that would have
like
been a more preferred pairing in my eyes.
but obviously we're gonna talk about it. And then Janae on a slump. Global USA 2 and 40 was bad. No respect. Like, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Oh, Zach and Janae, they could have been a pairing. Listen, we could go through all the better pairings possible, but we will be here for a while. Speaking of Davon, we saw Davon and Shane because they hated each other on season 32. which I said, okay, makes sense because they was calling each other all types of bees. And I love that Davon's like, listen, I found God. I'm not gonna be cursing like that. Blah blah blah. I said, good for you, ma'am. You have an older daughter now, so I can imagine that is also an influence. But I'm always happy to see Davon. And hey, Shane.
Always.
So then we go on to Amber and Fessel. Messy Fessy. And obviously Fessy didn't like her because he's a hater.
A big ass hater. A big ass hater. He thought he was better than her. And I think he mentioned it in the show where she got the last laugh. So it is what it is. I do think though that this pair in particular, along with Shane and Davon, are the two to look out for in my eyes. So I'm excited to see how they work together.
I can see that. I mean, I'm also interested to see like Ashley Kay and Dario after their performance as well in the first challenge. But yes, I agree with those pairings. And then we have Devin and Leroy, and because apparently Leroy backstabbed Devin in the on double agents and was the reason he went into elimination and went home. I said,
which I completely forgot about, but
yes, and I said, rivals where? Come on, please tell me y'all got these dudes on contract, right? And they had to do another show, and y'all just pull something out of your asses so that y'all could convince us that Devin and Leroy are rivals. They look like they having a key together.
They needed something.
Also, if Devin and Leroy, if y'all don't win, this is embarrassing. Like any of the male pairs, if y'all don't win, this is embarrassing. Amber Fessy, like not as embarrassing for y'all, but definitely Devin and Leroy and Steven Adam.
Those are the only two, right?
Yeah, male
okay.
Pairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Katie by her damn self, and it's funny that Katie mentioned like she really doesn't know who her rival is because it could be anybody. Because back then, Katie would be like, anybody could get this work for me. Okay, all this mouth, yeah.
And we also forgot Big T and Corey as well.
Sorry, because again, I'm surprised.
And the season, well, it's not. It was a unforgettable season. So,
mind you, I'm a fan of Big T, but Big T and Corey, what are y'all doing here?
I don't know. I love Big T, but I don't think she's an all-star.
I don't think she's an all-star either. She's on her way there, but I don't think she's an all-star. Corey, not an all-star, but I do
Corey
like you, Corey.
Literally is one of us.
But anyway, we see that apparently that they're rivals because Corey backstabbed her and pretty much used her for game on season 39. Sure, but that's all mended. I thought they handled that at the reunion, so I was very confused by that as well. Anyways, TJ explains you live and die by your rival. Winning challenges together and winning eliminations together was emphasized. And the prize pot is $300K. Let's talk about the $300K prize pot.
That's a little bit low, right?
I said,
because they said $300K. I was like, $300K.
Wait, but what's interesting is like, why is it going lower? The budget is not budgeting no more, the challenge, because the first season it was $500K.
Well, it'll be interesting if they have some type of twist where they're like, you guys thought it was $300K, but really now it's $600K. So it's up to you to decide if the winning partner gets to split it with you to get the initial $300K, or if you want the actual $600K. That's how I feel like they could like redeem themselves in a way. Because $300K, what is that? If I was Ashley Millionaire Mitchell,
I'll be mad as hell.
$300K, that's a slap in my face.
I would be like, can I get on the flagship like right now? Can I get back on?
Right.
And also petition for Ashley to be back on the flagship show. Like, I need her back on my
she should. I'll take her over Josh.
With fresh meat. With fresh meat.
Yeah.
That would be good. Anyway, so they leave the elimination arena, whatever. Then the cast goes to their house. This challenge house is way better than whatever we saw in season 40. And clearly, from what the challengers have said, a much better house. There's an actual kitchen, it looks like, not the one where they had to crouch and lean over.
And the little cave looking section that they
had. That was so odd. And hopefully all the bathrooms and all that stuff work, because apparently in the season 40 house they ended up having to use like porta potties or something. I can't remember the details, but something like along those lines. So then the cast starts settling in. They're claiming their beds, right? Because TJ also mentions like they should be staying in the same room together. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Which and weird.
I thought that was weird. Nicole goes on about like, she's not trying to destroy anything that she has back at home, but clearly Nicole can't help herself.
Then you know what they did dirty? They did her girlfriend so dirty because that little freeze frame shot that they had of her with the snaggletooth, I would have been mad. There was the snaggletooth. I don't know why they showed that. But then she was like, oh, you can't like put me in here with a blonde bombshell and not expect me to do nothing, basically.
And she says she has plastic tits. I was like,
plastic tits. Mm-hmm.
Clearly they have like
this girl has not changed.
They have some flirting going on, and I said, oh, this is about to be dangerous. And I just feel like every single time Nicole goes on the challenge, like she ends up cheating on whoever she's dating. Like
all the time.
So then we see that Frank and Sam, they're looking for their rooms, and Frank is explaining that he's not fueled by ego and insecurity this time. We see a snippet of him pretty much explaining like back then, the last time he was on, he was trying to be this like dominant alpha male, just fueled by insecurity and ego. And I was just like, yeah, that's a valid assessment of yourself. I'm glad you are self-aware now. And then Nani is starting to freak out because she can't find Turbo or a place to room at. I'm like, you've done this show so many times. What is the problem? Why can't you just pick a bunk and be like, okay, this is where we're gonna stay at, Turbo?
This is where we're staying. Yeah, she was literally going in like, and then about to break down, crying, and I'm like, girl, what? In the first episode, you're gonna do this? The first day with them, you're gonna do this and show your vulnerability. They're not going to see you as a strong competitor if you do this.
Right.
And you've done how many of these competitions at this point?
Too many.
The
boot. You're right. Easier to get a good house for a smaller cast. 40 people is something else to accommodate. You're absolutely valid.
That is very true.
But I definitely would have, if I was production, I would have definitely researched several different locations and seen which one has like a really good house or whatever that would have.
What country are they in now?
Where are they actually? I actually don't know. If anybody knows where they are, let us know, because I don't remember what he said.
I don't even know.
Yeah. But anyways, Nani, right. Nani's over there freaking out. Meanwhile, Turbo's chilling outside. He has no issue. Like, he's chilling. He's snacking on something. He's like, I'm confused. It's like a refrigerator inside the house, but then it's hot as hell. I'm just gonna sit outside. So then we see Nani having
they're in Vietnam, by the way.
Oh, they are? Okay, cool. Thank you, Dabu. Appreciate you. So then Nani tries to have a conversation with Turbo, but he says he's not ready to have that convo. And she's like, listen, just remember how well we used to work together, okay? Like, I understand, but please just remember that. How did you feel else about this like conversation that they were having and Nani explaining how hurt she was?
Here's the thing. If someone says they're not ready to talk and you're like forcing yourself on them to have a conversation, I feel like Turbo handled it well. He didn't like go off on her because he very well could have. He was in his own space. And she, again, was forcing herself on him to have this conversation and move forward because she thought it was the right thing to do because that's what everyone else was doing in the house. I think she could have just understood him in that moment and said, you know what? I know this man. I'm going to take a step back. We'll have this conversation later. Because at the end of the day, he's going to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that kind of annoyed him in a sense a little bit and might be a strain further on where there couldn't have been a strain. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like Nani's just very like angsty in the first
mm-hmm.
episode, and we see previews for the next few episodes, and she's just like yelling at him and everything. So hopefully, like she doesn't go over the edge, but she seems like a little stressed. I'll say that.
I agree. I feel like I maybe like the pressure of coming back, the first night jitters of being on the challenge again. So she took like a little hiatus, very little hiatus, has her feeling that way, but I don't know. She just it was too much. I was like, why are you acting like this? Like I feel like you're
Yeah,
acting
and
like
Dabu said the way Nani is acting, you think Turbo screwed her over. Exactly that.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So then we see a conversation, right? Because Janae's talking to Frank and Ashley K, right? They're in the room and she's just expressing that she's stressed because of the fact that the way Beth went about their last season and stirring up that drama and rumor regarding her relationship, her marriage, she had to go to marital counseling for that. And she's like, I just don't understand why someone would take it there. And we
Mm-hmm.
even see a moment where like Shane is talking about it with Beth, and Beth is explaining like what she did, and Shane's over here like, you've been this, like Beth has been this same way for many years,
From when
and
I
Beth
met
doesn't
her.
understand,
Yeah.
right? And Beth doesn't realize that there's unspoken written rules when it comes to the challengers and this game, and personal life at home is one of them. And I was like,
Which I agree
that
with. Like, you don't
that's
bring
valid.
up stuff at home. You can bring up stuff that I've done in this specific season or seasons prior to this, but like,
Right.
don't bring up my husband, my wife, my kids, my family. Like, none of that. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And do you how do you feel about the conversation she had with Beth? Because Beth ultimately apologizes and says she takes full responsibility. Do you believe Beth?
I think Beth is a person that is very much I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it. Like her actions need to be held accountable for, and we've seen Beth through multiple seasons. She's done some shady shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I will believe it when I see it. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she'll come through this season and prove us wrong, but I'm on the lower end where I'm just like, I feel bad for Janae
Yeah.
because I
I
think
feel like
she's spewing out what she wants Janae to hear in this moment to make her feel better, so that she can get a little bit forward. I know Beth, she gives up when she wants to give up. Like it's the best show.
yeah. And Beth never makes it far, so there's that. And I think Janae knows that she's like doomed from the start. She's like, I doubt I'm gonna be here
Yeah.
that long. So then let's get into the daily challenge called Frenemies. Go ahead, Brandon, take that part away.
Yes. So the daily challenge is called Frenemies. And before we get into the daily challenge, Katie ends up getting paired with Veronica because of their infamous argument on the Inferno. They show us a little flashback of the fight, and then they actually had won an MTV award for the fight, for best fight, I think it was best reality TV fight.
Yes.
So it was nice to like see those little flashbacks. But this is
Do you
another
remember
one where I'm
seeing
like,
that?
I
Do you
do,
remember seeing
I
that in
do,
real time? Me too.
yes, I
That was
do.
insane.
Um,
That was an insane one.
I get this little feud between them, but again, I feel like this is a feud that like it's not really a feud anymore. It was so many years back that they
Yeah.
accepted the award together, so like they should be fine, you know. But we'll see. And then we get into the daily challenge. So TJ explains that the only way to compete in the final is to win a star. So we bring the star back, and then the top 4 teams to finish will win a star. So everyone is now very inclined to like win a star. They want it to get to this final. The rules for this competition is that the teams will compete in 3 checkpoints across the field. So checkpoint 1 is called mud bath. The teams will use their bodies to collect mud to fill a cylinder up to a designated line. Then once they're done with that, they'll get to checkpoint 2, which is called ice transfer. And then in this, the teams will use long spoons to transfer 3 large ice cubes into a cylinder, which looked very difficult. If they drop an ice cube, they have to go back and start again. And then they'll fill it up. They'll fill up the water. And then once the ball inside reaches the designated line, then they'll move on to step 3 or checkpoint 3, which is called ball and skirny. And then in this, the teams will collect 3 sandbags to finish to the finish line using a gurney while balancing 4 small balls, which look very difficult to balance on that big board. And then the first 4 players, as I said again, to finish will get the stars for the first part of the season, basically. So when I first saw this, I was like, okay, we're back to carnival games, which again, I was a little like,
but in mud and in heat.
But in mud and heat, you're right. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, I was getting flashbacks of the last All Stars, a lot of carnival games. But like, is this what we should expect for the rest of the season? Are we gonna get anything a little bit more difficult?
I think we will. I think we're underestimating how difficult it was because it looked like it was pretty challenging for everyone at a certain point. I do like the fact that they were kind of like equalizer checkpoints because as we saw, like Amber and Fessy, they were doing well, right? From the first checkpoint, but then after they got to the spoon cube checkpoint, they like immediately fell behind. Obviously, like Adam and Steve and Leroy and Devin, like get the men out. Get the men out. They need to be gone. Like
they were neck and neck, basically.
They have an advantage. And then Janae and Beth like were like struggling the entire time. Frank is over here frustrated. And I wanted to talk about like Frank and these moments because a little bit of like Battle of the Seasons Frank started coming out and he was trying so hard to hold it back.
But do you blame him?
I don't blame him.
Do you blame him? I'm sorry, but if you're gonna come on this season of the challenge and you're getting gassed out from this little carnival game, like, should you be there?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, if I was Frank, I would get pissed too. Like, and it's not like he was getting pissed at her during the challenge.
No.
They asked him during the confessional, and he was like, "My partner gassed out. I don't know how else to say it." Like,
no, I was cracking up when he was like, do I sound mad? Am I mad? I'm not mad. Like mad high pitch or whatever. But I do think that maybe like the wetness from the mud, because they were describing it as quicksand. So like having to deal with that and then carry like wet clothing, whatever. I don't know. I could understand how it could be challenging for somebody like Sam, especially since she hasn't done a season in mad long, and that was her only season too.
Right, but you don't train for this stuff.
Right.
If
Like
you get the call, like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on this show," like you don't do some endurance training, like,
right?
do something.
I get you.
Veronica ran across the field, and she didn't get tired.
Well, Veronica better not after doing so many dang seasons for a little check, a little vacation. She better have at least done something. But I obviously believe that Veronica is much more active than Sam at this time. But we'll see how it goes throughout the season. It's neck and neck between Steve and Adam and Leroy and Devin, but obviously Steve and Adam, they take home the win. And then Leroy and Devin right after. Ashley K and Dario end up finishing third.
Surprising.
Yes, and that's why I think they're also going to be like the dark horse pairing.
It was also funny because while they were doing, I think, the cube portion of the challenge, Dario was like, oh, she always wants me to take lead and whatever, but she's the one that's like telling me what to do, so I just do it.
And shushing him.
And she was like telling shush, yeah.
I live for that. I live for her shushing him like shh. It's so funny. And then obviously the last fourth pair was Nani and Turbo, but it was close because it really could have been Big T and Corey for fourth. I was actually surprised that Nani and Turbo came in last like that. Because they typically work so well together. And they're both pretty athletic people. So I was surprised by that.
I mean, maybe Turbo again, back to what we were saying earlier, maybe he was just like, he didn't want to do it. He was just like, all right, we'll finish, but I don't care.
So, okay, let's talk about this. How did you feel about TJ pretty much blowing the horn after everybody, the four pairs were placed, right? And they got their stars, the first four pairs, and pretty much everyone else is done. Like, I was like, wait, so we don't get to see who comes in last?
I'm confused. I'm very confused. I don't because he didn't even explain what coming in last or like being one of the losing teams does to you.
Right. I was like, so we're just gonna, the winners, they won.
Get and the 4 losers, stars and that's it.
That's it. So is this gonna be what's gonna happen every challenge? Because if that's the case, I don't like it. Like,
but no, I think eventually it will. I think there'll be a twist in the next episode because obviously you need the losers to be a part of something, and then there needs to be an elimination. It's just that they don't know exactly what that format's gonna be, and maybe there might be like a little twist. But it's just annoying that we as viewers don't know what that twist is just yet, because usually they'll tell us like they don't know this, but blah blah blah, you know.
I just didn't like that because now I'm over here. Obviously, we're thinking, right? Like Adam, Steve, Leroy, Devin, Ashley K, and Dario, Nani, and Turbo. They all are star holders. Are they gonna be stealing stars next episode? Like whoever they vote into elimination, because I'm assuming the star holders are gonna vote for who goes into elimination, right? That
based
I'm
off
making
of
assumptions.
4,
right?
Basically.
And then whoever goes into elimination, whoever comes back, whatever pair comes back, do they get to steal the star holders' stars?
That's what I would assume, but again, we just don't know. I did see like a little clip in the preview for the season where I think like Dario was saying like we can't betray them like that, something like that, where it gave me the sense that stars would be stolen because they have to be at that point. No consequences for
they have
last.
to.
I feel like
that's what it feels like.
Maybe in this specific challenge, but who knows?
Agree
maybe the top 4 will have to decide on 2 people or 2 teams to be up for elimination. That would be.
I guess. I guess. I mean, I obviously eventually see it changing depending on like how far the game progresses. But I'm just like, dang, I really don't like this like cliffhanger. I really don't like it when we don't see eliminations. Like, I'm sorry. End my episode with an elimination. That's how
Right.
I feel about the challenge all the time. And it does feel like the episode was just so short because they made
Very
the jump
short.
to premiere it on MTV.
I feel like if it was on Paramount, we would have gotten the full episode.
Mhm.
We would have seen the whole thing. It felt just
Right.
very short. Like we saw the captions at one point, and then it was like, I think at the ending, everyone's just chattering in the house about how
About
if
stealing the
they're
money.
gonna stealing the money, if the 300K is gonna be given to a team or if it's gonna be given to one person, if they get steal, yeah. So it just felt very like, okay, it could have been a 2-part
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah. Then we saw like with those conversations that they were having towards the end, Fessy's talking about like if he wins the 300K, he taking it for himself. I
Which
said
is very messed up because, sir, this girl has not done anything to you.
nothing.
Your beef is in your head with her.
Like
Probably
a
because you
hater,
couldn't get
bro.
her. He's a
He's
hater.
a
She's not
hater.
worried about you. She got a whole family on the side. Like, she don't care about you. She won.
Right. Because Amber, it's so crazy. Amber has not said one bad thing about Fessy, or we
Not one
haven't seen
bad
nothing.
thing.
And he's over here like,
And
I'll
then
take
even
the money
during the
from her.
challenge, he was like, "Oh, I still feel like she doesn't trust me, so I have to always be like aware." And I'm
Like,
like, "We have
obviously.
not seen anything."
I'm mad that we didn't see more Davon. I wanted to see more of her. We didn't see much
I
of
mean, we have
her
a whole
this episode.
season, so
We do. I'm rooting for you, girl. I mean, her and Shane, they also have a good chance as well. I feel like, because I
I
feel
feel
like
like those two that we just mentioned, those two pairs, are
Mhm.
again gonna be, because I don't feel like they deeply hate each other. I feel like they had disputes on their seasons before, and then like they've grown from there.
I
So
agree with that. Now we saw a little clip of or a trailer at the end of what's to come for the season. We saw a moment where like Nani's telling Turbo like, no, not it's too early for all that. We saw like Ashley M. Obviously, it seems like she might be talking to Anissa because Anissa's tearing up, right? If I'm mistaken, and she's like, "I've never spoken to you about you like that, or I would never say anything like that." What other conversations do we see?
I thought Ashley M was saying that to Adam.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Unless they cut it that way, but that's how it looked. I could be wrong, but
oh, I can't
there
wait
were
for
a few
obviously
things.
Dario to go up all up
To
in Devin's
Devin,
face. Yes, I'm
it was
excited
like
for
your
that
breath
one.
stinks.
They look like they was about to have another Paulie and Theo moment. I said, what's going on
But
here?
I'm surprised with that because Devin and Dario are from the same season of Are You the One that Amanda, Nelson,
Dario was on Are You the One?
Ashley and yes, that's where he came from. Ashley and Hunter, all of them. I'm pretty yes, all of them are from season 3 of Are You the One?
Wow.
Because I watched
I'm
Are You the
surprised.
One too, yeah. So
I
that's why I'm
I did not
surprised.
watch Are You the
Why are
One.
they fighting? Like, Are You the One was really good, especially
I
season.
mean, I watched some episodes, but not the whole thing. I don't know. I should go back and watch it though, because I feel like
You should
it's good. Or at least the earlier seasons.
watch season 3 and season 4.
Okay, bet. But
And then
yeah,
maybe if you want to watch season 5, you can do that because Cam's on it. But
okay. Um, but yeah, guys, that is the season. Oh, we also see Frank have a moment as well. He's pretty much like yelling or shouting, not really yelling. I don't That's pretty much it, man. Like I feel like they really played us with this episode. I was looking forward to it, and I kind of felt like I was left wanting more.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this move to MTV is, but again, I feel like the production of Paramount Plus is better for the challenge than it is on MTV. So I don't know. I feel like they let us down with a BS episode.
Ashley is Real World with Corey and Jenna, right? Like Ashley Mitchell.
No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did I say Ashley was in Are You the One?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say Ashley. I meant to say, sorry, Amanda. That's what.
Oh, okay. Yes. I didn't even catch that you said that either. Boo pointed it out. But that's it, everybody. I have nothing else. I mean, I'm still gonna be looking forward to the season. I'm excited that Rivals is back. I'm very excited. I'm hoping that more themes like this come back to the show, especially fresh meat. Listen to us. We want fresh meat. But I'm excited that we're seeing people that we haven't seen in quite some time. So it's not like a repeat of the last few cast of All Stars either. Like, I'm glad Brad is not on, but then again, Brad don't have beef with nobody. Who would have they paired Brad up with? Bruh?
Oh, Marie. Brad could have been with Marie.
Marie.
Yeah,
that's true.
Why not?
But yeah. So, what about you? How did you? Anything else you want to comment on?
I mean, I'm sitting here waiting for the actual drama because I feel like a lot of this was forced TV, and I'm just waiting for the cameras to keep rolling when they're in the house for a few more days and see what actually goes down.
Oh, who do you think is going home first?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe if my theory is correct and the top 4 people, or at least the top 2, or not 4 people, the top 4 teams, or the top 2 people in a team get to choose who gets to go home or in an elimination, I think they're probably going to choose Janae and Beth, just because they were last. It's the most political thing to do without getting any like blood on your hands. Yeah,
I mean, but their placements don't matter,
as we know now. Like,
yeah,
because
but
we really don't
agree
know.
with you. I do agree with you that I also think it's gonna be Beth and Janae, and I could also see. I'm in between 3 pairs, and unfortunately, they're women pairs. So Beth and Janae, Kellyanne and Sylvia. No. I think we might have a little bit more time with them. And obviously Veronica and Katie.
Yeah, I think first and last that you said are definitely. I think Sylvia and Kellyanne have a little bit more time in them, especially because the Lavender ladies. I think she's fine.
True. But Dabu agrees. Beth and Janae gone. Yeah.
Unfortunately, because Janae is good, and I like Janae. I just think they gave her a bad hand.
Janae, literally stop. Take a break.
No, don't take a break. Accept an invitation to the actual flagship. Don't go on the All Stars.
I could see. I would be okay with Janae on there if it's like a fresh meat situation.
Yeah, I mean Ashley, that was how she was on oh my god, what is it called? What was the special? World Champion.
Okay, yes, World Championship. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And she was good with Grant.
Also, like, can y'all use the international people? Like, they have beef.
Please, where's Kiki?
Where's Kiki?
Where's all the people from the Challenge Australia because that show was really, really good.
Where's Kiki and Emily?
And Emily, yes.
We needed that to
would have
happen.
been a good pair.
That would have been a really good pair. Oh my God, unstoppable actually. And they don't like each other. Oh,
at all.
So good.
But they both are good.
That would have been so good. Like, and then people don't know them in the house except a few of them. Oh, we needed that. We needed that. Seriously, I'm mad at them. Like, they could have done better with some of these pairs. But I also understand
you know who
that
else they could have done? They could have done Joss and Natalie. Because Natalie was the one that was like, no.
But Joss ain't never coming back. He said it very clear.
It depends what you pay though on a daily basis.
Man, he not coming back. I doubt it. He said he makes more money off of Instagram anyway.
I believe it because 300K, what is that?
That is nothing. Yeah, I just feel like use the international like challengers. I feel like that would be great. Come on now. But another crazy stat. I forgot who I saw it on, like whose account I saw it from on Twitter. But apparently, like, this is the first season in like over 20 years that there was no Wes, no Bananas, and no CT. Like, there's not on the same season, right? But like, there's always one of them involved in a challenge season since like season.
What about the last one? All Stars 4. Oh, Wes was on there. Was Wes on there?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh, All Stars 4. No, okay. No. You're right. All Stars 4, they didn't have.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't have.
Yeah.
Them.
That was All Stars 3 that he won.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. I guess, yeah.
Oh, I guess right. Flagship
wise. But this is not flagship, so I don't know why they brought that up anyway. Sorry. My bad. Clearly we've been corrected. But I did think that was a little crazy. You know who else would have been a good freaking partner for Katie instead of just bringing Veronica? Why didn't we have Trisha? Even though I don't like Trisha, I don't like her. I'm not a fan of her. She just
won money. She don't need to come back on Traders. She's good.
That she had a split with CT, who has mad money.
She's still good. Because how much do they win? 100K?
It was 250.
Okay, she's good. 125. She good.
All right, guys. So we stretched this as much as we could. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us at Reality Unloaded Pod on Instagram, Reality Unloaded Podcast on TikTok. On TikTok. Wow. Sorry. But thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch y'all at the next one next week. And I'm so happy that we don't have to do this on Fridays because we thought we did.
We thought we did.
Have a good night, everybody, and we'll catch y'all. Bye.
Bye.